Latest portfolio calculator has been updated. 4 of the strategies in our current list are at equity peaks. I want to show you a 5th strategy at an equity peak, our 5th portfolio. Talking about portfolios of trading systems, the 50K portfolio includes 10 strategies, and most of the gains have come since the end of February. We had this Q4 struggle starting in October and December and January, and then now we're bouncing back towards the end of February and coming into March. Very strong March, and you see last year almost the same, but we're only 5 days into March, and so good trading. Equity peak, brand new equity peak for this setup, and you see that in the equity curve breaking out up here. And so these are long-term, these are short-term strategies, but you still have to have a long-term view of those strategies. And so I want to show you the 4 strategy portfolios that are at equity peaks. A 200K portfolio is a 40 strategy portfolio, and it is this is the strongest portfolio on the year. One of the balances of this portfolio is the market diversity, and the SR CounterTrends are on fire this year. SR CounterTrends struggled last year in V patterns, and now it's recovering with the wave type patterns in the markets. And so you see 45, 769 on the year, and you get the 50K, 200K, the All Strategy Access 51 plus 7 new is up on the year, and you see plus 25 on the month. Brand new equity peaks this week. End of the week on equity peaks. All Strategy Access 51. The first 3 in this list are part of the All Strategy Access. Brand new equity peaks up 22.17, up 25K on the year. Slow start in January, February, and so those are the 4 All Strategy. There's 7 in our current list for 2021, and so 4 of those 7 are at equity peaks, and the other 3 that are not are the All 78, and it is up on the year. It was in a drawdown to start the year, and first 2 months not much, and now it's up 29K on the year, $21,000 drawdown, and you see the equity peaks, or no, not the equity peaks, but how the drawdown has the cycle of the drawdown. It was at 48K last Friday, and so it's had a big week, big Monday, 29K on Monday. And so that is one of the 3 that is still not at an equity peak. The stock index portfolio has struggled with the Nasdaq making wild moves, but it is back up this month, and it is in a $9,100 drawdown. It did make new worst case drawdowns, the wild swings in the Nasdaq. We've talked about how there's been an increase in ranges in the Nasdaq that is persistent, and it's easy to be attracted to a market that has wide ranges. It's just been extreme though. And then the micro stock index and micro gold, we've seen wild ranges in the Nasdaq as well as gold. Gold has some pretty big ranges, but it's bouncing back a little bit this month. We had a worst case drawdown last week, so that was a challenging thing to weather. In this worst case drawdown, especially if you started at equity peaks, it kind of had an equity peak here, and then it went straight into a worst case drawdown last week. Let's look at the details, the play-by-play on that. It was at equity peaks. The last time it was at equity peaks was on February the 8th, and then it kind of had a small drawdown in this time period, only 833, still a fairly small drawdown in here, and then we just went through this losing streak, hit this worst case drawdown, and then it's bounced back 1798.50 this month, mainly on Monday's trade. So on Monday's trade was a huge gap continuation move with a nice trend, and then since Monday it's down just a little bit. So those are the latest results in the portfolio. I want to show you the SR CounterTrends as well. The SR CounterTrends is an old portfolio. We look at this portfolio. In 2020, we don't necessarily recommend trading just one methodology, but this is an example of it's SR CounterTrend 2, 3, and 4, so it's multiple SR CounterTrend strategies, but they're correlated methodologies, but it's a wide range of markets, and so many of the portfolios, such as the 200K and 50K portfolio, incorporate this methodology, and it was a dog in 2020, especially at the end. You see 2020 had a really strong start. Then the pandemic hit, and it was down, $33,000 the last few months. And so all the gains were in Q1. Q2, 3, and 4 gave back 33,000 of the initial 60,000 that it was up in Q1. And so the market just continued to make wild V price patterns instead of waves. It's very wild 2020. And so you see it's making new, it came back and made brand new equity peaks after this drawdown. So very wide drawdown, the widest drawdown it's ever had, the deepest drawdown it's ever had, with new price patterns in the market in the pandemic. And so, but we're getting back to more normal trading so far in 2021. And, as long as we don't have some massive black swan event that creates a V patterns in the market again, we could. It's always possible. Inflation is on the horizon. We'll see maybe more inflation and maybe a slowdown trend, or if inflation gets out of control, we could see another downtrend in the stock market and other markets as well. And so this is the SR CounterTrend. So good to see this. Good to see these SR CounterTrends doing so well this year and making new equity peaks. And this is the update that I wanted to share with you on. It's a weekend update on March the 6th, 2021. We are just in the beginning of trading in March, which is the last quarter of 2021. It's already closing in on the first quarter of 2021. And so transitional time period with the pandemic in 2020, a crazy election cycle, and now we're potentially looking at inflation, but we will see how that affects the markets, if that creates wild moves or more normal moves. And that is the update I wanted to share. Keep in mind that these strategies, it's always good to start in a drawdown. So if you're waiting to start on the 50K portfolio, drawdowns can happen quickly, and so it's important to get set up and get ready to trade this portfolio, get the strategies, and get ready to trade it. So if it goes into a quick 3K drawdown, that can be a good starting point. A quick 5 to 8K drawdown on the 200K portfolio could be a good starting point. If you're looking to get in on a drawdown, some of these other portfolios are in a worst case drawdown, hit a worst case drawdown recently, such as the micro stock index and micro gold portfolio. So when that happens, oftentimes you want to see it. You can get in down here, or the second option is to wait for it to make a new equity peak to reaffirm that you like this portfolio still, and then wait for another drawdown. So that's how you trade it. And the reason we like to wait for drawdowns is because you can get worst case drawdowns, and you can buffer that. You can also make mistakes if you make technical errors in your trading, or if there's something that happens in the market, such as the brokerage outage, and that causes some additional loss. You can buffer those scenarios by starting on a drawdown. So get the strategies, get all set up on some of these that you want to trade, and then wait for that drawdown to happen, and then get in. So that is the weekend update for the Capstone Trading Systems portfolios and portfolio calculator. That will be uploaded. I want to show you where you can get that. Go to capstonetradingsystems.com, click on calculator. Once you click on calculator, you get to go to this page right here. You can download the portfolio calculator. It's updated through Friday, March the 5th. And you can go through the analysis that I just went through in this video. You can also play this video to learn how to use this calculator. You can customize it by changing the input fields, and this video will show you how to do that. So that is the latest through March the 5th, 2021.